In this video, we're going to talk about how to build a client portal inside of your content agency so that you can reduce churn and improve the client experience. Okay, so this video is very straightforward. We are going to cover what is a client portal, the benefits of having one, and why you should have one inside of your agency. Then we're going to talk about the principles when building one, and I'm going to show you a real example of a client portal that we built, then how to build one for your agency, the steps that you should take to build one today for your agency, and finally the operational costs that come with implementing a client portal inside of your agency offer and service. Okay, so this video is a must watch if you run a content agency, you are tired of clients asking for updates, you have bad client experience, and client churn is a problem. Okay, let's get straight into it. Let's not waste more time. Okay, so client portals is very simple to understand. A client portal is a private centralized space where your clients can log in and view the progress of the deliverables, access details, content, folders, files, submit post-production requests, leave feedback, and approve work. Okay, so in a good client portal inside of a content agency, the client should be able to do these four things. Okay, right here on the left, we have service without client portal. So this is what happens when you don't have a client portal inside of your agency and on your service. Okay, you basically have poor client experience. The clients are constantly asking for updates and churn becomes a real issue. Okay, now on the other end, a service with a client portal creates great client experience. Clients feel their money is well spent. They feel involved in the process because sometimes you get those messages, what's happening with the videos, like what's going on. They can't really see what's happening, so they are always asking for updates and they don't know if you are actually working on their videos and they feel like their money is not well spent. So you want to make sure you have a client portal for these exact reasons. Okay, they see the progress in real time, and because of all those things, they stay for longer. Okay, so that's a big part of your agency because retaining the clients is what brings the monthly recurring revenue, and it's very important for a content agency and pretty much any type of agency. Okay, so this is why you should have a client portal, and this is what happens when you don't have one. Okay, so if you don't have a client portal but you are now convinced that you should have one, keep watching, and because we're going to cover everything. We're going to cover a real example and then how you should build one for yourself. Okay, so let's go over the principles and an example that you can then copy. Okay, so principles, the first one is that you should only show the data the client needs. Okay, you don't want to show data from other clients. You don't want to show the internal data of what's going on the, let's say, the internal information about the team members, all this data that you don't want to show to the client. So you need to make sure that you only show the data the client actually needs. You got to make sure that you keep it clean. So the portal sheet should be clean and easy to use. And you need to set clear expectations on how and when to use it. Okay, this is on the onboarding calls that you have with your client, the SOPs. You should create an SOP on how to use the portal, and then you can just add a link inside of the actual portal so that they can open it up and see how to use it. But you can show them how the portal works inside of an onboarding call or whatever you want to do, but you should set clear expectations on how and when to use it. Okay, so let's go over now a real example and the core features that a portal should have for a content agency like yours. Okay, this right here is an example of a portal homepage, and we basically have here, welcome to your client portal. Here you can access all of your content, track the progress of ongoing work, view your content calendar, easily submit post-production requests, and approve videos all in one place. And they have these buttons over here, and I'm going to show you how you actually build this. Okay, and the platform that you should use. To tell you that right now, we actually build this on Airtable, so you can check that out. But right here, they have these buttons where they can just click here. It opens the dashboard. Here they got the content bank, the content calendar, submit post-production, and then the pending approvals where they can review and approve ideas that are awaiting their feedback. Okay, so they also have links here. So book a strategy call, share with us. They got quick links that they can access on their homepage of the portal. Okay, let's now go over every single different page that this portal has one by one, and I'm going to show you the features that it has so that you can copy for your own portal, for your own agency. The first page we are going to cover is the dashboard over here, where the client can track their current content pipeline, view the monthly publishing output, and see a breakdown of the content types by percentage. Okay, so I'm going to open the dashboard and show you exactly how it works. Okay, so this is the Airtable base, and if I go over here and I preview this, I can see how it would look like. By the way, we have all these interfaces here that belong to the Content ACOS system that we built for our clients, but the client portal, these pages over here are the pages that the client has access to. Okay, the client will not see this. Okay, when you share this with your client, and I'm going to show you how you do that later in the video, they actually only see these pages, they don't see the rest of it. Okay, so this is the portal that I showed you earlier, and they can just click this button and it opens up the actual dashboard and the other pages. Okay, so let's go over the dashboard right now. Internet is kind of slow right now, so but basically this is your current pipeline. I have in this case 3 content ideas, 1 script ready. So one content, it has the script ready for me to use and record the video. There's 1 video that I recorded that I need to submit for post-production. There's 4 videos waiting for post-production. There's 1 scheduled video, and I have posted 5 videos so far since I started working with this agency. So here I'm just pretending that I'm a client of the content agency. Okay, so I can see over here that in this month I published 1 video. Here I published 2 videos. This month I've published 2 videos, and then I can also see some of the percentages of the type of content that I post. So we post 60% of top of funnel content, 20% of bottom of the funnel, and 20% middle of the funnel as well. And we have also published content by format. So we have published 4 long-form videos, 1 short-form video. Okay, and I can click this, opens up the actual data and opens up the actual videos. I can do that here as well. And we also have these buttons over here. I can expand the video and it actually opens the actual details about that content. So this is the dashboard. Down over here, the client can also access their knowledge base. So this knowledge base feature is something that every client has, where we have basically what's their business about, their offer, their ICP, the YouTube goals, call to actions, and unique selling propositions. Obviously, you can have as many fields and you can ask as many questions as you want to the client on the onboarding. But we collect this data mainly to have that data to write the scripts and all that, but also for our system to then use this information when using AI to generate the scripts, to generate the content ideas. Okay, so this information is very valuable when you provide that to the AI to generate new content. Okay, but the client can go over here and update their knowledge base if they want. So let's say they change their offer, they can go over here and change the text that they wrote when they were onboarded to the agency. Okay, so this is the dashboard. They can see pretty much what's going on with their content. But now it goes to the actual interesting part, which is a content bank. Okay, so content bank, here they can access all of their content in one place. They can add new ideas, approve ideas, view video scripts, mark content as recorded, and see the video editing progress. Okay, so let's open the page right now, content bank. So this is pretty much a table that shows all the videos from an idea all the way to published. Okay, so we have idea, script ready, recorded, waiting post-production, approved, scheduled, and published. We actually have one more status here that should be waiting script writing. So it's a video that's waiting script writing because the team is on the back end actually script writing the video, so the client can see what's going on. But yeah, that's a status that none of the videos are on that status right now. That's why it doesn't show up over here. But basically, they got all the ideas. If they want, they can open this, they can click this button and opens an SOP on how to use the system. And they have a button over here as well where they can add a content idea. So, obviously when you are working with your clients, they may have their own content ideas. So if they want to do that, they go over here to this button and they add a new idea. They can select the priority, the funnel stage, the format, if it's long form, short form, a description of what the video is about, and a draft of the title. Okay, they click create and it's going to create an idea over here. I'm probably just going to show you that. So test, long form, top of funnel. This is a video that I want to make right now, or it's high priority. And the target publish date, this is optional, but I can set this that I want to make sure that I publish this video on the 30th. Create, and it's going to create a row over here with that idea. Okay, so if I go back to the Figma board, this is what we just covered. So let's go over the approved ideas. Inside our service, you probably ideate and strategize new ideas of content. So you want to make sure the client approves that idea before you move that video to the next stages of script writing, etc. So one feature that we have on this content ACOS is that on the back end, on their own portals, basically the scriptwriter or the creative director can send an idea to the client, and they can go over here, check this idea, right? They see the title, they see the description, they see the information, and they can approve the idea by checking this box, okay? And then the scriptwriter or whoever needs to get a notification on Slack that the client actually approved this idea and we need to move to the next stages, okay? So with just a click of a button, they can approve an idea, but that's an add-on that you can make building all these different automations and notifications for Slack and stuff. But let's continue going over the actual client portal, and then we can talk about the backend infrastructure of all of this, okay? But here we have the approve idea stuff. Then we also have view video scripts. So basically, when the script is available for the client, this button over here becomes actually like clickable and becomes blue, and they can just open the script on the Google Docs and read the script and actually record the video. And after they record the video, they can just check this box and records the video. And I can probably show you that like live. So script ready, you can see over here, this button is actually blue. They can actually click here and opens up the Google Doc. Here, we don't have anything written, it's just a test. But I basically get the script, record a video, and then I check this box and it's gonna move this video to record it, and just did that. And then I also have access, instant access. I don't need to ask anyone. I'm obviously pretending right now that I'm the client, so I don't need to ask nobody for the script, for the folder where I should upload the raw footage. So I just open this up. It shows me the actual folder where I can upload the raw footage that I just recorded, okay? And after I do that, I can open the form for submitting post-production that we're gonna go over in a moment. And then I gotta, review the video that the team worked on and provide feedback or whatever I wanna do. And then I can also provide feedback on this project after it's done. So after this video is published, I can provide a project rating and feedback. Obviously, these are features that you may not want to have. So you just build the client portal however you would like. And we actually do that for our clients. So we build the system customized to how they want it to be. Okay. So let's now go over the content calendar, because this is pretty much the content bank. So if the content calendar here, they can pretty much view the previously published videos and see the upcoming content and the target publish dates. Okay. So let's jump here to the content calendar, and I basically have, so this is the video that we said we wanted to post on day 30. That's why it pops up over here. But basically here on the green, we have the videos that we have published already. And in purple, we have the videos that have a target publish date. So we want to make sure we publish this video on this date. And I can open the video and just check quick information about it. This is the content calendar, pretty straightforward. They can just manage their calendar. So let's now go over the submit post-production form, where they can just easily submit post-production requests for recorded videos. Okay, so let me jump to that form right now. So submit post-production request. This is just a form that they can submit right here. But basically, submit this form to have our team of professionals create a high quality edited video and a custom thumbnail for you, delivered within 48 to 72 hours. Obviously, you write whatever you want here. This is just an example, but they can just go over here and select one of the videos they marked as recorded. Okay, so you probably remember just a couple of minutes ago, we marked a video as recorded. I don't know which one was the video, but basically this just shows the videos that have been recorded. You can see over here, and I select one of those videos. I provide the notes about it. So I don't know, make sure to cut minute 7:33 seconds all the way to 55 seconds because of something, or make sure to blur this or make a very clean edit. And I can also provide the thumbnail references. I can paste YouTube links of other creators on a thumbnail that I want to copy. This is just however you want to do it. This is just client notes on the post-production side, and notes from the client on things that your team should do when it comes to editing their videos and making the thumbnail. Okay, so after they fill out this, they just click submit, and your team is going to get a notification if you set up those automations, and the video is going to go to, if I go over here, let's say this recorded video is going to go to waiting post-production. Okay, so you can see that we have a lot of backend automations, and that's what we're going to talk about later in the video. And also, yeah, I forgot about the video editing progress. So if I go over here all the way back, see video editing progress. So one thing they can do is open the video that is waiting on post-production, and they can actually see the percentage of the video editing progress. The way this works is on the post-production portal for the video editor can track their own progress, and then that reflects on the actual client portal. Okay, so you can see here full stars, it means the 5 stars, it means that it's 100%. So if I remove a star, it's going to be 80%. Okay, so that's how it reflects on the videos inside of the, you can see over here 80%. So it's all dynamic and it reflects back to the client portal, which is awesome. But this is just an extra feature. You don't have to build this on your portal. Okay, so we were talking about the submit post-production. Let's now talk about the pending approvals, because the client submits this. Now your team is actually working on the video, editing the video, and then you need to submit the video for client review, and the client needs to watch the video and review it, and then approve it or provide feedback. Okay, and I actually have an exact video on how you should handle the quality assurance process inside of your content agency. It's my latest video over here, how to build a quality check system for your content agency. Okay, so if you want, you can check that video out. It basically goes over the internal revision process, how you should set that up, and then the client revision process as well, and how you build the automations that notify everyone on what they need to do, and it just streamlines the process like crazy. And this is one of the parts of that system, because the client actually needs to review the video and approve it or provide feedback, right? So this is a feature inside of the client portal. So basically, this is a video that has been submitted for client review, and the client gets a notification on Slack, opens this, and they can, step one, watch the video, and then step two, choose an option. And they got a little instructions here as well, so that they always know what they need to do. Okay, so step one, watch the video. This is going to be a frame.io share link. It's not working right now, but they basically get access to the video. They watch the video, and if they have feedback, they leave the comments on that video on Frame. Otherwise, they don't leave the comments and they approve the video. Okay, so step one, click the, it's actually dark button because I changed it for this video, but dark button over here. So click the dark button to open and review the video. If you want changes, leave comments directly on the video. If everything looks good, simply exit the page without leaving comments. Then let the team know by choosing one of the options below. So they go over here. You can see this is round two, is actually round two of revisions. Okay, so they go over here, they approve the video, or they select I left feedback. If they select I left feedback, a bunch of automations are going to trigger. It's going to notify the creative director. It's going to move the video to client requested revisions, etc. If they approve the video, it's going to also notify the people that it needs to, and it's going to move the video to approved as well. Okay, so this is the pending approval side, and the client can make this very quick decision. They just open the video, they review it, and they just click a button here. Okay, and people get notified, and the statuses of the project gets changed as well when a client selects an option. Okay, so this is pretty much the client portal. It's very simple, very easy to use. We got this form that's super easy. Content calendar, very straightforward, very simple to use. Content bank is just a table, and they can open and pretty much track their stuff, approve ideas, read the scripts, mark the video as recorded, access the pages. They can add new content ideas. They got their dashboard where they can pretty much see what the content bank shows, but in numbers, and they can see the monthly video output and other percentages, and the Your portal, the home page of the portal, which is very simple as well. So we just went over all the pages, but I just want to give you a quick note that you can build these however you would like and customize it to fit your agency's service. Okay, and this is just an example of how you can build that, and all of our clients receive a custom system tailored to their specific way of operating. So if you are interested on that, you can book a call in the link in the description. But let's now go over what's actually happening in the backend while the client is, moving these videos and clicking on buttons and moving the statuses, okay? Because we have a bunch of automations that actually make all of this possible, right? So this is the Airtable setup. We have interfaces over here. This is the front end of what the user sees. And then we have the actual database where we store the data. And then we have automations that actually are triggered when you move stuff on the database. Okay, so let's say you checked a box of a record inside a database, it's going to trigger an automation. Okay, so this is the flow when it comes to building on Airtable, and that's why we recommend Airtable so much, because it allows you to build these three things inside of one platform. That's why Airtable is so cool. And that's why if you have a growing team and you are scaling your agency, you should use Airtable as well. It may be too much if you are just starting out, but if you want to scale without chaos and effectively, Airtable is a great tool. And you can reach out to me on LinkedIn and ask me any questions about Airtable, and I'm there to help you out if you want help building your own operations. Okay, so this is pretty much the setup, but I want to show you more in depth on the actual platform here. So if I remove the preview, you can see all these interfaces, and the way you build this is pretty simple. It's just like, this is obviously no code platform, so we don't write any code, and we have all these blocks where we can move stuff and we can add conditions and filters to, for example, here only show the data. So this is a filter on this specific number here that is going to calculate the number of content there is on the script ready stage, and the client account is current user. Okay, so we just want to make sure that the client sees the script ready videos that belong to them, right? So that's why we have client account is current user, because every client has their own account inside of this interface. And that's why I'm going to show you later of how you actually share this with your clients. But this is how you build the interfaces inside of Airtable. Here we have a database one, and the way you do this is you create a new interface over here, and then you can select all these different layouts. And we do have a couple of pages that are blank layouts, but I think on this portal we use the content calendar, we use a form, and yeah, we just use the layouts that that Airtable gives us. So we use the calendar over here, we use the form, we use the dashboard, we use the record viewer, we use the overview for the homepage of the portal, and I think that's pretty much it. So you can very quickly start off your interface by just choosing a layout, and it's pretty much already done. You just gotta build the different filters and numbers and blocks, and make it look good. You can see over here I got colors and stuff. On the content bank side of things, if I open up a video here, a piece of content, you can see that it shows all these sections. So these are actually groups that I can remove or add, and I make sure it's organized and it's easy to use. So content idea, and I got a field here where they can approve the video. Here we got a button, and all these are fields inside of the database. So if I jump here to the data, you can see we have a content bank table. So the interface is just a reflection of the database in a cleaner way, okay? Otherwise, we would see the data in this sheet type of view, which is kind of ugly and not very organized. That's why we use the interface. It's much cleaner and easy to use, okay? So if I jump again over here to the data, you can see that we have content stage here. We got all these stages. We got the target publish state. So this is pretty much a Google sheet, but it's more like a database, because on a sheet, on Google Sheets, you can write on every cell. Here it doesn't work like that. Every single row is a different record inside of the database, and all these fields are pretty much data for that record. Okay, so if I expand this record, for example, all this data is regarding this record. Okay, so this is how it works, and we have all these different tables as well that are linked together in a relational database. Okay, so you can see over here, clients, this is a link field to the clients table. Okay, but let's not get too technical here. One thing I want to show you is the actual automations. So we just talked about the database. We just talked about the interfaces. Let me just show you the content calendar. So this is how it looks like. We got a couple of settings for the dates on how the calendar should show the dates. We got color conditions. So if the target publish date is not empty, it should show the purple color on the record, etc. Here, this is just a form. You can customize the form however you would like. And then here we got the pending approvals. You can see over here we got the groups as well. And I can pretty much add these buttons. You can see here, this is a button, the step 1.1. And if I go to their properties, it's gonna go to URL in record, and it's gonna pretty much open the URL that is on one of the fields, okay? And then here on the client review, this is just a simple field that we have a single select one, and the client can choose one of the options. And now that's the thing that I want to talk about is the automations, because when the client, let's say, chooses one of these options, it's going to trigger one of the automations, okay? So here on the Figma board, I have 3 screenshots of the automations that we built for the client portal. So we have the video record recorded checkbox checked. So this is this checkbox over here. If I go Content Bank, open this video, this checkbox over here, check this box once you have recorded the video. If they do that, it's pretty simple. The only thing it's going to do is going to update that video and change the status to recorded. Okay, so probably the simplest automation on the system. Then we have the client approved idea. So this is when the client approves the idea on this checkbox. So you can see if approved idea is checked, it's going to update the record. It's going to create a pre-production request, and then it's going to notify the client that they actually approved that idea. And then it's going to notify the creative director. Then it's also going to run a script for an external automation that we have set it up on make.com. Okay, so this is how it writes. We have a couple of automations on make because you can build more complex stuff there. Okay, and lastly, we have 2 automations. We got one for the video approved. So if the client over here selects I approve the video, it's going to again update the statuses, notify people. And if the client selects I left feedback, it's again going to update the status and notify people as well on Slack. And you can see here an example of the type of messages that the client gets on their Slack channel. So we have just finished editing one of your videos. You have successfully notified the team. We have made updates to your video. You have successfully approved the video. I should have actually add here the notifications about the ideas as well. We have brainstormed a new content idea for you. Please review and approve it so we can start working on the script. And they can just click here and it opens their client portal and the exact content that we are talking about. Okay, hey, you have successfully approved the video idea. The team will now start working on the script, so it's ready for you to record. Obviously, you can write the Slack message as you want on the actual automation that you set up on Airtable. Okay. This is not a technical video, so I'm not going to go over how you actually build everything, but I showed you how the database works. So you should have an understanding now that every single row, at least on the content bank, is a piece of content. And then we have fields over here, just like a normal sheet, just like a normal database. And this is pretty much the pillar of everything. We also have obviously the automations that pretty much just change data on the record automatically, so that it's more streamlined and it's more faster, at least the process, right? And then we have the actual interfaces. That is just the front end and a view of the actual data inside of the database. Okay, so if you have any questions about this, you can leave them down below in the comments, or you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. It should be in the description. Okay, now let's go over the operational costs of using Airtable when you build client portals and when you onboard all of those clients that become users that you have to pay for inside of your portal. Okay, so I'm going to show you the operational costs. So before you build any of this and you waste your time, I just want to show you the money that you need to invest when it comes to this, because every client that you onboard becomes a user on your Airtable workspace that you need to pay for. Okay, so this is a breakdown of the operational costs. Inside of Airtable, we have the base, which is the database, and then we have the interfaces. Okay, the base is pretty much everything, and only key members at the content agency should have access to the base. And then the interfaces are the things that I showed you, right? The front end interface. These who has access to this are the clients, the video editors, the thumbnail designers, the script writers, etc. So this is how you should share the information on Airtable. And how you actually share the data is pretty simple. If you want to share an interface, you go to share over here and you select one of the interfaces that you want to share, and you add in this case, the client portal, you add the client's email and you invite them. Okay. If you want to share, let's say, your co-founder to the actual database and to everything on this Airtable base, you go to share and you invite a collaborator. Okay, you invite over here and you the permissions that they should have, and then you invite them. Okay. Now, in terms of Airtable plans, the way it works is everyone that you invite to, you have to pay $24 per seat. Okay. Now, they have actually launched a feature called Portals that makes it cheaper for every person that you onboard. So, if you have 0 to 5 clients, you will have to spend $24 per seat. If you have 5 to 15 clients, you should spend 120 a month for a portal. If you have 15 to 25 clients, you spend $200 a month for the portal. Okay, and it goes like that until I think like you can go to 200 users inside of your portal. The way this works is you go to share, and here invite guest users. Okay, so this is how much a portal costs. So you can see over here the portals feature: create interfaces that let users outside of your organization access your app at a reduced cost compared to full paid seats. Okay, so if I jump over here, the members who have access to the base are full paid seats, and you pay $24 per seat. You can see that's why we have the same thing on all these columns. But when it comes to interfaces here on the blue, you can buy a portal that becomes way more cheaper. Okay, so if you have 5 to 15 clients or editors and designers, you should purchase a portal. And the way that the price scales is pretty much like this. You can go to 200 clients, let's say 1,400 a month. Obviously, you're not going to have 200 clients at the same time, right? So, and even if you do, 1,400 bucks a month is nothing compared to the money that you are making, right? So this is a very good investment to think through, because this is how much you're going to spend. If you are a small agency, you're probably going to spend 200 bucks a month if you implement an Airtable system. If you are a growing agency, you're going to spend around 300 bucks. If you are scaling, you're going to spend around 400. And you can see here like 20 clients, right? 400 bucks a month to manage everything for 20 clients, it's nothing, right? So these are the operational costs if you decide to go with Airtable and build your operation system inside of Airtable. Obviously, if you just build a client portal, it's probably going to be cheaper. But if you want to bring on editors and designers to your Airtable because you have built the rest of the interfaces that we have, pre-production, post-production, etc., and you bring everyone to the Airtable, it's going to get expensive. That's normal, right? But it's going to become way more simple to manage the agency, and you're going to scale way faster and more reliably. Okay, so those are the operational costs, but you can always go to something like Soft to build the interfaces. Okay, so you use Airtable as a database, so you probably just spend like 24 bucks for your own paid seat, but then you use Soft to build the actual interfaces and the portals. Okay, and that way it becomes more cheap, but you obviously need to learn how to use Soft to actually build the interfaces, so you have to trade that. So this is how you should set up a client portal inside of your content agency. Obviously, there are content agencies that use, let's say, Notion for this, but they don't build as good as a client portal as I showed you in this video, and with all the automations that we have set it up in the backend. Okay, those are very important as well. So if you are just starting out, you should build a very simple client portal where the client can just see the deliverables, a little bit of the progress. But if you are scaling and you want to provide premium client experience and reduce churn, you should build a professional client portal. And Airtable comes a long way with that. And you can also use Soft, as I told you. If you want our help scaling your content agency and building the client portal and the rest of the systems, if you want, customized to your agency, make sure to book a call in the link in the description so that we can see if we are a good fit. Our goal is to help you close more clients, grow without chaos, get better client results, and scale to 40K plus months with our system. Okay, so if you are interested on that, book a call in the link in the description. Otherwise, like this video, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and I talk to you guys soon. Have a great day.